Is this a transition, guys?
This is the part where we cut out because we're basically it's the silence game where we play who's gonna speak first because we don't know.
I'll let you guys do your thing.
Eventually, one of us is gonna break because of the awkward silence, and we're gonna speak. And normally, it'll happen to two of us at the exact same time. So then we'll have to do the thing where it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you go first, Logic Mage," and then we're like, "Okay," and then we both then speak again because we didn't know who was actually going to speak or not. And then eventually, it sorts itself out, and we get through the podcast. It just takes time.
Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. You're setting up so it's easy to edit later on.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Travelers Podcast, Episode 2 of Season 2. It's great to be back. My name is Logic Mage.
I'm Super QGS.
And I'm Brambler.
And today we are joined by Mr. CoherentNonsense. Please welcome to the podcast.
That's me.
Heyo.
Welcome.
Heyo.
We would have Meat, but he's been on basically every podcast, so we decided against it.
We need some fresh blood, is what Super's saying.
Yeah, me being the most prominent member over this last month, I've solved 0 puzzles, and I don't even know what the solution to the last puzzle was still.
You made a sick mod, though, which we will get into.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, regarding what you said about the puzzle, I'm not even sure I understand it, so...
No one's updated the wiki. It's painful.
I solved it, and I don't fully understand it.
Updating the wiki is painful. That's what's really painful.
It is. You know what? You know who I have a lot of respect for is Lightning, which is not something I thought I'd be saying recently, but...
Yeah, it's been doing the averages of every item. That's awesome.
Jeez.
Lightning's an absolute legend. Speaking of which, we're going to go into the first section of the podcast, of every podcast, which is the Lightning WB section, and talk about all the things he has done. Because he has 5 things on our list, or...
Yeah, he has
4, I can count.
He's done quite a bit. First thing he did, the last shred of humanity fell away when Lightning overtook Slime Tiger, on distance traveled, I think, on the leaderboard, which secured him number 1 on every single leaderboard on Travelers, which is impressive, but...
A little terrifying, yeah.
A little terrifying, yeah, definitely.
I don't want to meet him in-game.
Oh, I definitely don't either. That would be a very scary experience.
I would meet Lightning in-game. We're best friends.
You know, I would too. I would trust him if I met him and organized it beforehand, but if I just came across him, I'm not sure what would happen.
You get a lot of XP if you get that kill, though. Imagine.
It's true,
You're not going to be able to kill Lightning. He's almost level 300.
You think he puts anything into attack or stamina? That's his, secret account.
I don't know what he puts stats into.
Okay, look. If you have a high-level account, an allocator, and a voice chat, I think you can kill Lightning. That's my take of the day.
Just send allocator your password.
Yeah, he'll deal with it for you.
So, continuing to talk about my best friend, Lightning WB, he's also made a Clue website recently. As of the time of recording the podcast, it hasn't gone live yet, but it's basically a Clue tracker, Clue theory tracker. It looks pretty cool. Off the top of my head, I don't remember all the features on it, but I'm sure one of you do. So, yeah.
Reddit without pictures. Also,
that kind of seems like what it is, yeah.
Pretty much.
It looks super cool. The CSS and everything it looks like it could be part of the normal Travelers website.
Definitely.
And,
I sorry, I know I'm interrupting.
No,
I definitely do like the aesthetic that's kind of going into it, where it makes it look like it really could be part of an official expansion of the game, where people could cooperate and whatever.
Exactly, and I think it's going to be really cool too, because we can discuss on the Discord, but so many things get lost or forgotten on the Discord, and then we've got a Google Doc, but that's kind of messy and isn't super updated. But I feel like if we have a site where we just put every single theory on, that's going to help us be a lot more organized and get through clues a lot faster.
Wait, pause. Since when did we have a Google Doc, and why was I not invited to it?
I wasn't aware of that either.
That was Sarah Beer?
Yeah.
Serbier?
I thought he
Serbius?
I thought he had a wiki page, maybe.
No, it's
Oh,
like
no, you're right. It was a wiki page. I goofed.
Oh, he has a
My
Google
bad.
Doc as well, though. It's just not really. It's just like copy pasting a bunch of Discord messages.
Yeah, the wiki page was the one I was talking about with all the theories
Oh,
on it.
yeah, and like I said before, I still don't know that last clue, so I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that site.
We'll get to that topic. Don't
All
you
right.
worry.
Oh, right, yeah, I can learn in real time.
We'll educate you.
Awesome.
So yeah, the site's pretty neat. Something that's also something that I'm interested in because I'm a statistics guy is Lightning hit 5,000 hours played, and obviously, if that was time spent actually staring at the computer screen, I'd be very concerned. But of course, as we all know, this is an idle game, so nonetheless, it is still very impressive achievement. So congratulations, Lightning, for having an account that was online for 5,000 hours. Pretty impressive.
Golf clap,
That's
guys.
really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder how many hours it's been since the game launched release.
Honestly, I can't imagine it's been that much more than
5,000
5,000
hours.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, man,
Probably
it's
just a few
crazy.
days more than that.
Mm-hmm. Like, you have to give some time to just the game going down for any weird periods.
Yeah,
whatever,
that's also very true.
Yeah, I'd say 5,000 is probably not that far off.
Something we also got, though, is... I don't think we knew about this beforehand, but he got a Discord role for that, for 5,000 hours.
Toro mentioned that he would give out a role for... I don't know if he specifically said 5,000. I remember him talking about it before, I guess Lightning remembered. I didn't personally. But yeah, it was something that was mentioned. Yeah, I think... And it doesn't have, like, a top 10 attached to it, so I don't know if there's, like, a limit on how many people can get it. I know Lightning, Meep, Slime, and I all have it right now. So that's 4. So if there's a limit of 10 like the other roles, there's only 6 more slots, but it's not labeled as top 10. So it might just be 5,000 in general until the end of time. So.
Alright. You could technically
also
get a green
green.
username. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
interesting to me. Because isn't it the same color as Donator, or is it a slightly different green?
It's a bit more light, if I recall.
Yeah, it's a lighter green than Donator. Just click on
However,
the name.
yeah, so it is, I don't know exactly, I think if you're looking at a mobile, you can see what priority it has, but just by looking at Lightning's little thing, the bubble that pops up when I click on his name in Discord right now, it's actually below both Release 100 and Release 200 for like levels. So I can't imagine the priority is that high, but in theory, yeah, you could get this, and you could have a light green name if you were to put in a lot of time. So
it's directly in between Donator and Release level 100 plus.
Interesting.
Right now, I think it's actually rarer than Release 100 plus, though.
Yeah.
Well, currently, yeah, I think it is. That and PFG's pre-release 200, I think, are the rarest roles because there's only one of them, and there will only ever be one.
That's true.
Pre-release 200, so that is technically the rarest role.
However, the clue rolls are also pretty rare. I mean, they are technically different roles. Like, I have the
True.
only clue 1, Super has the only clue 3, Meep has the only clue 5. Oh, and I guess Super also has the only clue 6. So...
Let's go.
I think having no roles is pretty cool too, guys.
Yeah, fair enough.
All our no-roll representatives.
Stand up.
Yeah, we promise that we love you just as much as the ones who do have roles.
Oh, that's really condescending.
What do you mean?
You're all special in your own way. Don't worry.
thank
Just
you.
because you're
Of
not
course.
as cool. I'm kidding.
I'm working for that 200. I'm right behind you, Super.
You can do it. I believe in you. I don't run it 24/7, so I think you got it.
Yeah, no, I stopped for like a whole day, and you've gained like 200,000 on me.
Because I'm seeking the uranium, which, again, we'll talk about later.
Right, yeah, okay.
Spoilers, by the way.
Oops.
Oops.
Isn't this whole podcast just one big spoiler?
Yeah, I think we had a warning at the start of the episode.
I feel like if you're watching this, you've already accepted spoilers.
You're interested in what's happening in the game, so
Yeah.
you're okay with hearing. But okay, last thing about Lightning before we actually talk about interesting things, I swear, is his chatbot. He made a chatbot, which is, I mean, I haven't really seen a whole lot about it because it only went online very recently, but it exists.
He's running it through like the clever bot
API.
API, yeah. So it's literally Cleverbot and the Travelers. So I mean, that's kind of cool.
Wow.
Cutting edge news. You're on top.
It's running on the clever radio frequency, which epic segue. There's radios now in the Travelers.
What?
So after I think Slippy suggested it to add some kind of radios for a global chat feature, and Targeted was able to add them into the game, and I have personally some gripes with it, but I think it is a very cool feature.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussion in Discord about how some people think it should be a more localized system instead of just having a global radio, which I personally do agree with. But again, I think just the fact that we're still getting new content in the game is pretty neat, especially in comparison to Toro saying that he's too lazy to put his Troggy songs on Spotify, which we'll also talk about later. But you know, it's neat. I'll take what I can get, I guess.
No, yeah, it's super cool that it's still getting new features and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a fan of how it works right now, but any mechanics are pretty cool because you can it allows players to make cool things like Lightning's Cleverbot or Chatbot or whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So just opportunities.
Personally, I really enjoy their little chipper announcement for the one clue with the radios the day after it got at it. That was cool in my opinion. I mean, I'm a little biased, but
I thought that was cool too. I don't feel like it's going to have too much use outside of, special announcements and Cleverbot, but it's certainly a cool feature. I would like to see it only work for people on your screen, because I think that would add a ton to the game. But
yeah,
that's my opinion.
I would really appreciate a rework too. I don't think that personally, I don't think that having a global chat is I don't really think that works for the game. And I know Taros talked about in the past how he wouldn't want to add an actual global chat because, again, it sort of takes away from the mystique of having this huge world that you can't really explore within any reasonable amount of time. So I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on it. And I don't really see why it was added just now in comparison to something else that might have been more deserving of looking into Bluestone, which still needs to be added in. I would appreciate that very much.
That would be the coolest thing ever. That probably would be so much work to add, but
how would that even work? What?
It's just you'd have certain redstone things. You'd have torches and dust. It wouldn't be called that. It would be something else.
Yeah.
Bluestone dust. Yeah.
Flying machines.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have pistons opening doors and stuff.
Yeah,
in 2D.
That would be so cool.
That would be cool.
I want that. Okay, Taragadude, if you ever feel like doing Travelers stuff again, we need local radios and we need UMF's dust, and we will. You will be best Cyclops, I promise.
He did say, it's not really a local radio, but he did say he wanted to add a call-out feature, and he said he forgot to do it in one of the updates. I don't know if he still plans to do it, but there is supposed to be a more, loose, local chat feature eventually. But I guess we'll see if it happens.
That would be pretty cool. Obviously, Taragadude's working mostly, not full-time because he's still got his job, but most of his free time is going towards Puppet Master right now, which I don't think we'll touch on too much, but it also is looking amazing. Can't wait for the next build. But I would like to see some stuff like callouts, or I think radios are more of a unique way of doing it, but callouts also work for the same purpose.
Slippy Ice Hero made a short puzzle over by one of the world corners, I believe. I think it has something to do with Morse code in an audio file that you had to find at the link to at the corner of the world, and there was, I think, a whole bunch of charged cores there, which it's pretty cool to see community puzzles again. I think Slippy has another one that has never been solved, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so this one got solved. I don't think the original ever got solved. I'm gonna call attention to that. Go solve Slippy's puzzle. You'll get a whole bunch of rope.
Didn't Definitely's puzzle, did that ever get solved?
Oh, maybe that's, wait.
I
No,
think it was Definitely's puzzle and then Slippy's. Who solved Slippy's puzzle?
Lightning solved Slippy's puzzle at the corner, with, yeah, I think it was like Morse code in an audio file that he had to, I forget, but it was cool. It was a cool idea. He said he wants
Super
to
awesome.
do more in the future, so that would be
That'd be
cool.
sick. Also, if I'm not wrong and Definitely's puzzle isn't solved, go solve his puzzle. It's gonna be epic. You got it. I believe in you, viewer. Yes, you, the person listening to this.
We know you're
Specifically.
listening.
We do. If you're hearing this, we do know you're listening. That is true.
All right, that was weird. Next topic. We got a Taro's teasing, well, not really teasing, we were like, it was something we suggested actually, that we're going to do a writing competition for a new event that could possibly get added. So probably like a house. I don't imagine a new city would be added at this point just because that's, those entail a lot more complex writing. But even still, I think the idea of having like a player submitted house that's like, it was written by someone from the community and it could have like custom events associated with it. I think that's a really cool idea, and it's something that I'd definitely be interested in because I enjoy running a lot. And yeah, I think that's just a really great idea that would bring a lot of attention. Not necessarily from outside of the community, but just kind of it would definitely get me interested in participating in just like a contest that's being held. So it's a cool idea.
I definitely agree. I think the sweet spot for Travelers gameplay is like the first few hours of active play where you're kind of looking at all the different houses and cities and stuff and like trying to piece together this world that you find yourself in and just gathering resources to go further into each of like, getting a crowbar to open a crate or, bolt cutters to go into the garage, stuff like that. I feel like that, in my opinion, is the best part of the actual like in-game Travelers gameplay. And outsourcing more things like that to the community, I think, would be an amazing way to extend that, and also just be super cool for the community to have something that they created and put it into the game.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to make an actual event. I mean, I had a ton of fun when I made that fake puzzle screenshot that never got released publicly, but that was very fun.
I was about to say, I was about to ask if we haven't revealed it yet, but I guess yeah, you just said we hadn't. Maybe we should share that right now, if possible.
Yeah, I'll throw it up on the screen right now.
Cool.
Real-time editing? What?
What?
Is this real-time
Live
editing?
He's doing it right now. He's
Yep.
pulling up, I don't know what he uses, Vegas something.
Yeah, Sony Vegas. So he's putting it up right now. I'm looking at his screen from a few thousand miles away.
Yeah, I'm watching the YouTube video as we talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is. You should see it right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're dumb. It's okay. You'll get over it, viewer.
Oh.
What? Okay, whatever. Good. All right. Tag Pro. Tag Pro's pretty cool. It's a cool game. Yep.
Yeah, we're hosting Tag Pro tournament currently. I don't really know when the next part of it will be. At the time of this recording, it's failed. We've failed to do the tiebreaker like twice now, so I'm gonna have to talk to Meepcom at some point and maybe work out a different way for the tiebreaker to work, because apparently getting 6 people or 8 people on at the same time is impossible again. So, yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the first part of it was a ton of fun. I thought it was gonna be fun, but I was very worried about everyone like being able to like show up, and thankfully it worked out. Huge shout out to you, Super, for subbing in last second.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm glad that I had to sub in, honestly, because I did not think I would enjoy Tag Pro, but I had an absolute blast. It was a lot of fun.
Honestly, huge thanks to you too, Rem, because you, I know from
Yeah.
experience that organizing those things is just a huge pain. So, huge thanks to you for actually just putting up with that too.
Yeah.
Definitely, that was super awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, shout out to Meep too. He spent just as much time or more working on it with me, so it's been a lot. But hey, if it works out, it's fun. I mean, that makes it worth it, you know.
Definitely. And we also, something that surprised all of us was we actually attracted some attention from the wider tech book community. They were interested in what we're doing because, like, you know, a lot of those people that actively play are have played for like, I don't know how long, but they're very experienced players. And they were like coming to the stream and they were like, wow, this is funny because it's like it's probably been a while since a lot of them have seen like a lot of influx of new players just not really knowing how to play the game, honestly. Or, you know, just knowing some of the better strategies of just how to play and some of the more common methods of playing. So that was really cool to see because a lot of them came by and were like, hey, man, this is really cool. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. So
I think we even had a developer in chat, right?
we did. That was really cool.
I wasn't there.
You should join the next one, man. Come on.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
You can always be a
Probably.
sub.
I
Yeah.
tried to get him on, but he
Yeah,
didn't
no.
answer my Discord DMs.
Sorry.
And I was so sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, it was-
Wow.
I saw. I just ignored it. I didn't want to play with you guys. It's horrible. No, I was just off. I was
can't
off for a
believe this.
week.
We're not
Wait.
going to cover the next topic because of that. I'm so offended.
What's the next topic?
Next
You-
topic. Oh, you'll like this one. Is we have probably the best texture pack I've seen created in the game
Ooh.
so far. Sorry,
By
Lightning.
far.
Yeah, I think
Whoever else it was that made the
Slippy-
Minecraft texture
Slippy's,
pack.
Well, that was like a
texture
that
pack
was just
maker.
colors.
Yeah,
Oh.
he made the ampersand blue. I think that's like cutting
Which
edge
is
technology.
also super cool.
Yeah, his colors
Did
are
he make,
actually
like,
really
an
nice.
API for it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen, I haven't personally used the pack because I don't I don't usually go through the hassle of installing setting mods unless like I think it's necessary for whatever game I'm playing. But just seeing that is like awesome because it's this really cool artistic interpretation of kind of what the world of the game describes to you. So
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people heard of it, but I guess we could explain it a bit.
yeah, and definitely just throw it up on screen for people who haven't.
Oh, right, yeah. I'll try to get like a higher quality image or
Yeah.
something. So basically, I've utilized your computer's GPU to run actual sprites for this game, which makes it palatable for me to actually play it. Because I'm not really a huge fan of just the text graphics. It's cool, but yeah, I really need sprites to enjoy a game. So I just whip that up, and yeah.
I feel like that's true for a lot of people, and I think that can kind of expand the potential market for the travelers that having that good at looking at the texture pack for it.
Yeah, definitely what Super said. I feel like if we made more, again, I don't want to like falsely market the game at all, but like if you want to share a screenshot with your friends, like maybe use the texture pack because it makes it look
Maybe. It's good marketing.
Or maybe do the first one, and they're like, ew, text, then you send the second one.
Yeah.
Pack.
Yeah,
That works too.
Psych, this is the real game. No, or it's just going to do the opposite. It's just going to make them want to play, and then they open it up, and they're just so disappointed.
But you send them the texture pack link, and then...
No, and then they're hooked by the actual game, by that beautiful writing in that
That's
opening
exactly.
cutscene.
It is a good cutscene.
How long did it take you to make everything for it?
It's like that was just me like trying out how to make actual graphics, doing graphics programming. So it took quite a bit, maybe like a week of like actually debugging nonstop.
It really turned out. It looks phenomenal. I remember you sent that one screenshot of, I think it was you, Lightning, and Galak waiting
Yeah,
at
with all the
That was
corpses
such a
around us.
Yeah, that was such a cool screenshot.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah,
It visualizes it, a scene you've probably seen like in different places or screenshots a lot, but you've never seen it represented in actual graphics. It was really awesome to see.
Yeah. I used who drew that like MS Paint pillar with all the clouds around it. It's on like the Reddit.
That was me, actually.
That was you. Yeah, I used that as a reference for my
That's awesome.
my 2x4
Super
pixel
cool.
art.
It's really fun to kind of draw what you think the world looks like.
Yeah, just having a complete text game and then you can really use your imagination.
And I think everyone has like a slightly different idea of what everything looks like too, which is super cool.
Yeah, and 4K textures are coming soon. Once I
Ooh,
figure out how
excited.
to draw that.
Alright. Now we're gonna go and dunk on Teragadude.
Yep.
So
This is the Troggy dunking section.
Last episode was us just whining that the clue 5 was too hard and we couldn't solve it, and we didn't know what we were doing wrong, and Teragadude was mocking us, and blah blah blah. And then literally, I don't even know if the podcast went live before we solved it. Do you guys remember?
Meep messaged us the next day after we recorded it, so he messaged us the next day that it's solved, and, like, I was just like, dude, like, why? Like, what is the timing on this? Because we had just switched to a monthly schedule. It happens because of how many, January has 5 weeks in it, right? So it was, instead of a normal, like, 4-week gap, it's a 5-week gap with how we have it set up. So it was even longer than normal. It happened before the episode even aired. So I think overall it's going to take like roughly like there's like a 6-week like gap pretty much in between that episode and when this goes live. Like, or from when it was solved to when this goes live, which is kind of crazy to think about, but I mean, it was really bad timing in terms of getting it on the podcast. So
It was Meep. Thank you for solving it, but also heck you for solving. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was Teragadude got the X and Y coordinate messed up, and he debated us. The clue actually was completely unsolvable, and there was a mistake in it. Because there was like a circle in it that pointed to a certain point on the map, and it was just the wrong circle. The circle should have been in a different point. So Meepcom messaged Teragadude, and I think he said like, "Hey, your clue's broken," jokingly, and he sent a screenshot of it. And Teragadude at first was like, "No, it's not. You're just not solving it right." And then when he looked at the screenshot, he's like, "Oh shoot, maybe it is broken." And how long did we go trying to solve clue 5?
oh well, it's clue 4, but
Oh, clue 4, my bad.
yeah, clue 5 was
Clue
solved
5 earlier.
much quicker. Clue 4 it took an eternity, dude. Like, we were stuck on it for like 3-4 months. Like,
Yeah, no, I played a little bit in like November, I think, or actually, yeah, probably maybe even October, and then I like joined the Discord for a bit after I got killed by one of Lightning's bots near spawn when I just started out, good old times, and then I left for quite a bit, and then when I came back, like what, a month ago, or a month and a half, that's when you guys solved it, so good, like,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
5 months.
oh boy.
Needless to say, some of the people, particularly the wood chippers who were hearing about this for the first time, were a little upset, but it's all good. So what ended up happening, continuing off of what Super said, was I think Toro teleported me there, at which point he you needed a maximum security pass to get in, and for those that aren't aware, you can only get those at we call them bases. I don't know what the formal name for them is. I think it's like
A
government
long chain
bases.
fence is the first.
That's the first event, but yeah, I'm not sure what the actual. Yeah, but we'll just call them bases, basically, right? They're represented by a B on the map, and you can follow them. You can find them in like a set radius around spawn. So, main problem with those at the time was Lightning, being the gentleman that he was, basically made a script that had him search out all of the bases around that one radius and looted them all. So there was like nothing left. So
he had all the maximum security passes and all the flash drives, and the only people that also had them, so he had every single one except for the people that got there before he was able to do that.
Which, just to clarify, that was only me, Logic. Did you have one, Super? You had one, right?
I did.
And Allocator. We were the only. maybe PFG? Yeah, okay, so those 5. It was 5 other people in the game that had maximum security passes. 2 of them weren't playing at the time, so it was only me, Logic, and Super with maximum security passes besides Lightning, which is kind of insane if you think about it.
We ended up comparing coordinates to see who was closest, and it ended up being me. But even so, it was still about 4 or 5 days to get there. At which point, we were also concerned that Lightning had figured it out because Toro made a public announcement about 2 days after Meep got teleported, where he basically said, "Oh yeah, I screwed up. Sorry. I've updated the clue." And then he dropped it in the chat. And then at that point, it was pretty obvious where it was, and we were all very concerned that he would have had an alt at somewhere in the world that would have had a pass and he would get there before us, but that didn't end up happening, and we actually managed to get there. I streamed it, which again I think is what we talked about in the beginning, where we announced it by the new radio item that we were streaming it, and then there was that was how we saw it for the first time. So,
and in that, what all did we see? There was the it was kind of another. It was what was it? It was this. I forget. Someone else that knows more about this, take this off my hands.
Okay, so we fixed a machine, which then generated a. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was a
audio waveform.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, no. That's a later one. That's a later one.
No, the machine where you give it a couple charged cores.
Wait,
it wasn't cores. It was.
Are you talking about the
cells?
one with the message?
Yeah, that's clue 4. When you go and you solve it, or I mean, by that I mean the clue 5 location, right? That's where you get the clue 5.
Okay, I'm confused.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh, it had the map. Yeah, we got a map out of it. Yeah.
Right, you got a map, and there was also an audio message, which we don't really know what it means at this point, but it might become relevant later.
Well, you got the
that was
base locations as well.
That's true.
Which, you've already solved.
At that point, we'd already figured out how they worked,
Yeah.
Which apparently was this. Taro later revealed that was actually surprised to him because he expected those to take a lot longer to find. But yeah, we ended up not needing that map. Anyhow, does someone want to talk more about how, surprisingly quickly we ended up solving the next clue after that?
Yes, I'm listening, guys.
Okay, so the next clue was it was a bigger map, and it basically we pretty much figured it out. I think we kind of called it a Sudoku puzzle. I mean, it wasn't really, but if you looked, it was the leftmost column was 2, 9, 16, 23 or something like that. Once that was filled in, and then it was 2, 2 squared, 2 cubed, and it was just it went out in the powers or whatever along the thing, and then you followed you didn't actually have to follow it. You kind of just had to calculate the distance, and then it would bring you to a radio tower. If you followed the amount of movement, I guess, that you needed to go from that map. It was steps basically, how many steps you need to take in each direction, and it landed you at a radio tower, which was clue 5.
I'm gonna be honest. I have still no idea where it is.
We will catch you up.
But it's okay. It's I can kind of picture it now.
And Brambler, you were the one that was there first, so you can, if you want to, talk about what you found up there.
So I get to the radio tower because again it had a maximum security pass. Meep again didn't have one, so I'm the first one that gets there this time with a maximum security pass. Super went to the original location we thought it was. We thought you had to take the amount of steps from the monument at first, but it turns out you had to take the amount of steps from the Department of Mysteries or whatever. It's not Department of Mysteries. Department of Secrets, I think. And you ended up...
We didn't talk about the lore in the Department of Secrets.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard of that name. That sounds like some Dr. Seuss.
So the last clue, the one that Meepcom found first, was called the Department of Secrets, and that's where we found that It was like a human body, but maybe not human because its eyes were purple, and I think its chest was opened up and there was purple inside. If my memory's not
Oh, and you start
incorrect.
from there. Oh, okay, I get how that clue works now then. Awesome. Yeah, so what's the lore, or is there any?
Yeah, there was actually like a ton, like lore-wise, recently.
Yeah, there's something about evolution failing. That was awesome.
I don't think we had to fix up a machine for getting to the map. I could be
Oh,
wrong.
yeah, you're right. We just had to have the security pass.
So the underground headquarters. This is the previous clue we were talking about. You have to use I think you have to use every single key card and a maximum security pass. And then you get to a map and door, which is it says the plague's inception, a curse from death itself to a leader most terrible. And then you've got the map that showed us where all the military bases were. Of course, we didn't need this because we already had a maximum security pass. Then you need a maximum security pass to go into it. And then you've got Descent. You go down an underground corridor. I think it was the Department of Secrets. And then there was it was a naked, chalk-white humanoid being. Its limbs long and thin. Its feet and hands bearing only 3 digits. It has no distinguishable sex and is well over 2 meters tall. Its head is round and ovular, and its face features only eyes, but the expression they bear is one a human would interpret as horror or shock. And it's got like these purple eyes with no pupils or irises. And so basically Aliens is confirmed for the lore. We're pretty sure that we've been pretty sure for a long time, but now we have kind of a look at what an alien would look like. I assume this is an alien. But then we've got the sign that says, evolution was bold, but nature is proven wrong. A different approach must be considered. And then we had the next clue, which we've come solved, so then we can go on to what Graham was talking about. Sorry.
Okay, so then we get to the radio tower, antennas. I forget exactly where I left off in my train of thought, so if I'm repeating myself, I apologize, but you'll get over it. So you again need maximum security pass. It took me a few days to hike out there, but we made it first. Wood chippers bringing home the bacon for the second time in a week. It was a glorious moment. Then it's a SETI radio tower that was scanning for, I guess, other radio waves.
It's SETI is the search for what is it? Extraterrestrial intelligence.
Yeah, so it was one of their like radio tower thingies. And it has a transmission coming in when you enter the base. At that point, I had to stick in a whole bunch of items that I did not have because I haven't looted on that account in months at that point, so I was pretty poor. So there was this awkward, like, half-hour period where I had to loot a whole bunch of stuff and then go back. And then once I was in, there was an audio waveform, and it said that our kind made contact, but we, humans being humans are not, very friendly, and yeah, now they seem to have faith in the travelers for being different.
Do you mind if I read the poem thing?
Yeah.
Not that your paraphrasing was not phenomenal, but
I understood it fully, don't worry.
So he got a message from some kind of radio wave somewhere that says, your kind made first contact with us not long ago, but they acted as though harbingers of death. Their weapons superior to our pacifism. We retreated to watch them from the start, and in time their doom arrived and they would have it. You will be different, traveler. You will be humanity's redemption. We bestow upon you this gift of knowledge. And then basically the computer explodes and the next person has to get the resources again if they want to go in, which I figured out firsthand.
Next up, you got it wasn't a blueprint, but you got the crafting recipe for an unknown material phaser, which is pretty cool. It was pretty expensive. You need like a teleporter, yada yada. I actually had enough stuff to build one, thankfully. So at that point, I head back off towards spawn because the heart called, and I went back towards spawn, and unfortunately, for the first time in months, I got stuck on a house overnight, and
So, I mean, that's a classic Travelers gameplay right there.
yeah, but
Also, I want to interject. Just one more thing. Is initially, Super was always talking about how, guys, we're gonna be able to cross the border wall soon. We're gonna be able to get out there, and we initially were thinking, oh, maybe this is the item that's gonna let us do that, but it ended up just being part of the normal world structure. Just thought that was interesting, but
Tora won't let us leave the wall. It's so sad.
no.
anyways, I got stuck on a house, and instead of arriving at about 11 at night, I'm arriving at 3 o'clock in the morning, which I decided to stay up for. There's actually a stream on my channel where, we had a good time. And I also very incoherently rambled the same story of the clues there. So, if you want to hear a sleep-deprived version of the events leading to the monument, go there. And it was a very, I don't want to say surreal moment, but it was a very odd moment, because it was the first time I had been back at spawn since I took the shard back, almost, 6 months earlier. It was such, a
crazy.
different, situation. I was so much, higher leveled. There wasn't, a war going on by the monument.
I mean, you had like 6 different people waiting for you, slaughtering each
Yeah.
other while we waited. But yeah, no war. It was all peace and harmony.
Hey,
It's just
no.
a giant free-for-all.
Spawn's a weird place, man.
And it was a lot safer because for some reason there's an endless axis protection radius. So yeah. After I then phased into the monument, and there was yet another clue inside, which Super solved. He can talk about that one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so there was a big it said to achieve redemption, one must succumb to the power of humanity's greatest horror. And then there's this big clue. It was like a half, or not even a half circle. It was like part of a circle, and then there was a line and another line that was going out to it. So at first they assumed that the circle radius was equal to 500,000, because that's how big the world is, and we assumed the radius, the circle represented the Earth. And so they found that. And then they found a bunch of things on that circle, because they could use the thing to figure out the triangle. And maybe we should have had Beepcom on, because he would actually know what he's talking about. But basically, they were able to use the radius to figure out different points on that line. However, we checked all of them; none of them were right. I had the idea that maybe the line is actually, or 00 is actually the top of the line, and the location is the dot, but then that wasn't correct. And then I asked, how do we know what the radius is? And then Lightning was explaining to me, we don't, it's not defined, so we're just guessing it's 500,000. I was like, okay, what if it's not 500,000? Because it's a circle, and the world in-game is a square, so I feel like it would be a bit clunky to use that as a radius. So what if the radius is just twice that initial line? Could we figure out the radius from that information? And then we could, and it led us to the clue, and it was super awesome, and now I have 2 clues, even though I have no idea what I'm talking about 90% of the time.
I was, no offense, but I did the math for it, or the part for, finding out, the distances or whatever, and then Lightning took it. I thought you had a good idea. I didn't think, it was going to be it exactly. I thought we, took a step in the right direction. I was surprised to see it, be the correct answer.
It just worked. Normally it's not that easy to do.
Yeah. And I happened to be 4 hours away from that spot, like, from where it ended up. So I was like, alright, let's head over. So I headed over. It, again, took about 4 hours. So same day as like that. Usually it takes a few days to get a theory, test it, but it was the same day for once. And I get there, and I'm talking to Lightning in DMs because he, like, sent me, like, the final chords or whatever because he calculated it out by hand. And, I get there, and there's nothing there, and I'm like, oh, that sucks, you know? And I started walking away, and I told Lightning there's nothing there. It's like, did you use the metal detector? I'm like, no. And I turn back around, and I pull out the metal detector. It doesn't show up on the metal detector. So I was
Really?
like, yeah, I was like, I almost walked away again. I'm like, oh, it doesn't show. I messaged Lightning, I'm like, oh, it doesn't show on the metal detector. It's not here, right? I'm like, let me just dig anyways. So I dig, and of course there's something there. And I'm like, ugh, okay, like,
Can you imagine how long it would have taken us if you just
God.
didn't dig?
Toro said
Always dig.
because I said in the
Seriously.
chat, I said in the chat that there was nothing there. Toro said later in the VC, he's like, I was panicking because, like, I was like, they're gonna take, like, months on this again. And I was just like, bro, I'm like, dude, I don't know if this is supposed to show up on the metal detector, but, like, it doesn't. And he's like, you know, maybe it should, but, like, it doesn't. I'm like, okay. Like, and I'm like, he's like, let's just pretend there's nothing metal down there. Yeah, nothing metal in a mine shaft.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all made of plastic. Um,
It's an old wooden one that just doesn't have any screws.
and a plastic minecart, apparently. So, yeah, it's a mine shaft. You go into it. I actually got soft locked into it because I didn't have a charged core, and there was no exit event button, which, you know, that's great. But so Toro admins me in a charged core. I'm gonna be honest. He's like, yeah, you probably have enough for this. I did not have enough for a charged core, but yeah, definitely. And well, I just kind of didn't. I don't think I really, like, responded. I didn't want to, like, lie and say, like, oh yeah, I have enough. I was just like, maybe. And then he admins me in a charge core. I'm like, thank God, thank God, dude. I didn't. It wasn't like I was like. I think I was missing, like, a battery or something. It wasn't like I was like I had nothing, but, like, I definitely didn't have the required stuff right that second. But anyway, he admins me in because it's easier to admin me in an item than fix the event, so he gives me the charge core. Which, again, thank you, Terraga Dude, I really appreciate it. So I go in, there's a mine cart, and you get a piece of uranium from the mine cart, which then the event just ends. There's nothing else. That's all you get. You get a piece of uranium. And that is where we're currently at in terms of the puzzle.
We have no idea what to use the uranium on. We've tried so many different things. What do we have any recent ideas that we're gonna try, or what is our plan for?
Okay.
How are we gonna figure it out?
Okay, let me walk you through what I've tried so far. I've tried every place in every city except the one maintenance closet in City 5. Because I think the maintenance key is on the human inside City 5. I think you have to shoot him. Or maybe it's City 4. Whatever.
Well, no. Well, that could be possible, but typically what I do is I go to City 2 to get a key, and then it works on the one that's in 4.
Yeah,
That's
no,
it.
I mean, that's what I've done in the past. However, I just didn't feel like doing that. And look, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna be that maintenance closet. Just a wild guess, but maybe I'll have Lightning check it out because Lightning's heading over.
I'm
also
sure Lightning will be very eager to come over every event to.
Yes, 100% sure.
True.
Plus, he has a botnet. Just one person, or not a. I guess it would be one bot, but Also, I haven't checked the keycard B room, simply because I don't have 3 charge cores. Lightning says he'll check that as well, so this is the only 2 spots in cities that haven't been checked, which Lightning knows, so I'm assuming he'll check it. I checked most houses, it's just there's so many, I'm not like 100% sure. I've checked most of them, any of them that looked like promising I definitely checked, but there's probably like a few of the ones without like items or something that I haven't checked, just because they start blending together. I've tried burying it with material fragments, energy cells, just other stuff. And that leads to the current game plan that Lightning has. I don't know if he said it in the public chat. What he said to me in DMs was that I should just start burying it with random things. Which, that's an okay idea, I guess, but with the shard and the fragment when you had to bury them, it gave you, like, it said, like, something failed. Like, it says, like, the ground rumbles, but nothing happens if you buried it in the wrong spot. If you bury the shard and the fragment, it indicates that that is what you were supposed to do, but you're doing it in the wrong spot. But this has no indication that burying it is the correct answer, so I feel like that's not it.
You get a
But
custom event, and you don't think that's the right thing?
no, I'm saying the uranium is not giving any indication. It just
There was the with the shard. When you buried it, you had to bury it to get the next clue.
Oh.
And when you buried it with the wrong thing, it would like rumble. The uranium doesn't rumble.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So, there's no ideas right now.
No real ideas. I mean,
Maybe you bury it with the shard. Or yeah.
that doesn't. I don't think that's correct, because think about the natural progression of the puzzle. At this
That's true.
point, you shouldn't have a shard. Like, I'm sure a few of us
Yeah.
do, but you shouldn't if you like were following it. It'd be like telling me to bury it with a key. Like, I have a key, but I shouldn't. I should have went into the fortress at some point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah. I don't really. I tried burying it with the phaser as well. Just to see if that did anything. It didn't.
Did you go to, like, a base with it?
That is the current plan. I am heading towards military base. But beyond after that, I'm out of ideas personally. So we're gonna have to really start brainstorming if we want to solve it.
We've got a month till the next podcast, don't worry.
We got it. We can do it.
So yeah, that catches us up with puzzle stuff. Finally.
It's a lot to take in, yeah. Hopefully, honestly, if you guys, I know that everyone's probably listening to this is probably all caught up, but honestly, if you have any ideas, then please let us know, because we're interested. I think, obviously this is very open-ended, like there's a lot of avenues we could take this, but we've already gone over a lot of, as Bram said, we've already gone over a lot of like the houses and whatever. We're just not, we're not super sure, so definitely let us know. And finally, the last section of the night, viewer questions, which are always some of them they're either some of the most fun or disappointing. So look forward to this. Oh yeah, and we actually don't reveal the questions to the guests ahead of time just because it's funnier that way.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Surprise.
Here we go. Question number 1. This question comes from King Glack. He asks, "Who is Troggy Girl?"
Troggy Girl is probably Troggy Dude's fiance.
Or an avid fan.
That's the current theory, but it could also just be a random person that joined the Discord for whatever reason and never talks. We aren't positive.
They have Toro is if I check mutual friends, Troggy Dude has that account friended, so it's probably his fiance. I don't know who else it would be unless. No, I don't know who else it would be. So.
Could it be someone from like when he was doing 2B stuff, or is that not not likely?
I mean, it could be, but at that point, it's definitely an alt. Like, this wasn't like a person that I know that was active. Like, I don't. It would be an alt. Like, an alt of somebody, and at that point, it could be anybody. So, probably his fiance.
Glack also asks, thoughts on the new Puppet Master song. So he's referring to it's not Is it a boss song? No.
The one on his YouTube?
Uh,
Because I believe
hold
the
on.
latest one is.
I need to refresh myself. I thought he was like referring to the one that was like updated. The Keeper's Castle, yeah. It's good. Good song. He also updated. He mentions this too. He also updated the Chain King to add some interesting drums that he says are inspired specifically by Tenet. Which is really cool. I think they add a lot to the depth of the song too. So.
That's awesome.
All his songs are pretty cool, yeah.
Yep, I love his songs a lot. They're really great.
I love all the any Tarragatoon song. Which, speaking of which, I think Logic Mage would like to say something about that.
Oh yeah. So I have some grievances with this, and honestly, I'll try to keep this pretty succinct because I've already done a whole rant about this on the Travelers, and Tarragatoon's position on this has made it clear that there's not really a whole lot else I can say that would really convince him otherwise. But I'll say it. Tarragatoon songs need to come to Spotify. This is unacceptable that they've gone so long rotting in the YouTube servers with no one other audience to hear them. You guys don't understand. Like the age of YouTube music is over. It's over, guys. We're on Spotify. Everyone's on it. And the fact that it's not there, yeah, man. And the fact that the Tarragatoon's music is not on there is unacceptable. I will not stand for it. So Toro, put it on. I don't care if Puppet Master gets cancelled. I don't care. Put it on Spotify.
Also, I just want to say this, Trog, dude, I know you're a spicy, meme lord, stubborn person, and I respect it. I like to be a stubborn meme lord, too, but, sometimes it makes your life easier, and I found this out recently, to just go with things sometimes. Like, it's not gonna kill you to use Spotify. Like, I was very anti-Spotify, but then Rex convinced me to make one, and it's been great. I love Spotify now. It's a good platform. Just stop. It's okay to not be stubborn sometimes. We won't judge you for it, okay? We won't tell anybody that you're a softie. Like, just put it on Spotify, dude. There's no reason not to. That's my hot take of the day.
You know what? I gotta agree with that, Bram. Thank you for articulating that better than I probably could have, but yes.
Is this a podcast sponsored, by the way?
This podcast is not sponsored, unfortunately.
No, we're not corporates. We're not shills.
No, you genuinely like the Spotify?
No.
I love Spotify.
Sorry, yeah. No, that's not what I meant. Yes, I enjoy Spotify as a platform very much. I think it is very good. Especially compared to the
YouTube music.
The crapshoot that is, yeah, you're right, music. Doesn't work out.
Well, you don't like ads every single video in between the songs?
Yeah, that's not for me, thanks.
You learn tons of cool facts.
Writing is not that easy.
Do you know Peter? Oh, I haven't got that one.
But Grammarly can help.
Thanks, Grammarly.
Yeah.
A lifesaver.
Okay.
Next up, we have questions from Ducky McLucky. First up, who is each of our favorite travelers except ourselves?
Okay, I'll go first. I have a best friend on the Travelers. His name is Lightning WB. He is the best traveler and also my favorite traveler. I am not being held at gunpoint. Yeah, that's all I will be saying on the matter.
He's been contributing a lot to the wiki and so many different things. He's got his death bots, but he's also got a lot of good stuff to add to the Travelers as well.
Lightning is on a redemption arc, everybody. Keep an eye out for it, okay?
He's coming in strong.
He has a soft side.
I think he's going to figure out the uranium, too.
Well, I gotta say, this is a tough question to tackle because I don't want to offend anybody, but if I really seriously had to choose my favorite traveler of the entire community...
Thank you, Logic.
Now hold your acceptance speech. I have to say, my favorite traveler, it has to be James. He is just such a upstanding, wonderful pillar of moral contribution within a community. I have a lot of respect for what he does, his work. I gotta say, James, if you're listening to this, thank you very much for everything you've done.
He's the only one keeping the Travelers alive on the YouTube platform.
It's true.
You guys are slacking.
I think he makes the most Travelers content.
Exactly, yeah.
My favorite traveler is Rex because she's my girlfriend, and that's pretty cool.
Cop out.
That's valid.
What? Okay, yeah, that's fair.
valid.
Okay.
That's valid.
Fair enough.
If other than my girlfriend, let me think. I don't even know if I can choose. I don't think I can choose, actually, if it's not Rex. You know, Aston. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What about you,
Logic's
Coherent
not
Nonsense?
commenting on that.
Who asked the question?
Ducky McLucky.
Yeah, Ducky McLucky. You're my favorite. Keep asking
Ducky
that.
McLucky
Yeah.
is a legend.
Ducky McLucky is awesome.
Coherent Nonsense. Do you know who Aston is?
No.
Out of curiosity. This is, again, I'm going off on so many tangents to tell one story. That's just how I roll. But have you heard of, or I guess rather, have you seen the Travelers Community Alignment chart?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're familiar with that, it's probably that you've seen well, James is both actually is he is he on there?
Chaotic evil, isn't he?
I forgot what exactly we changed between version 1 and version 2, but I do know that at least on version 1, Aston was on Chaotic Evil along with James.
God, what did he do?
So he is probably the person that I would not want to come back of people that have kind of just stopped playing and not really paid much mind to the game anymore. But essentially, what he did was he came on. And he was like, I think he might have been active for like a day or so before the incident. And at the time, I just finished I don't really want to call it a build. It's more like a little symbol, because this was around when Shovels. Honestly, this was pretty early. It might have been around when Shovels actually had functionality. And I created a Sonic little symbol, and it was like out of a lot of holes. It took me like half an hour because that's just how.
Yeah.
It takes very
cool.
long to actually do art on the Travelers, but
Is it still up?
I'm getting to that.
Oh no!
He saw it, and because the game hadn't really had a reputation for griefing or other player destructive events at that point. I figured it was okay to show coordinates. People could go to and visit it. It's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, I'm gonna go grief it," and he did, and he posted a series of screenshots where. He wrecked it.
Little progress report.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate.
That must have taken just as much time as it did to make.
Yeah, that's what's funny too.
That's
it probably wasted his time more than it did mine. So
that was one of the first things I ever did in pre-release Travelers.
You were Aston? What?
Because I saw on the set no. Yeah, that's the secret. That's my ult, guys. No. So at first I discovered their Reddit. I didn't know the Discord existed at first. And I saw your post with the Sonic the Hedgehog logo, and so I actually visited those chords and then just saw the defaced Sonic, and that was so sad. But it was still pretty cool to see because there was still kind of ruins of it. You could see his spikes still, so it was just far out player activity, which was pretty interesting to see.
The first kind of art I guess I saw was ton of L's laid across the land. that was a horrifying little experience. It's
what's funny is that came from the same player that killed you first.
Yeah, no, I figured.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was cool though. It's a cool first little experience.
Ducky's next question is: does Logic Mage exist?
I have to say, probably not.
I think a lot of people think he does, but that's an urban myth. I don't think he exists.
Yeah, it's pretty controversial, but yeah, I'd have to agree with you guys. How about you, Logic? Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think, Logic?
There we go.
Someone turned
That's
off.
a wonderful take.
Yeah. Someone turned off the AI.
Oops. I think that explains itself. He went offline.
All right, now the next question.
We're just gonna keep going. With
yeah.
Oh, there he is. Now he's back.
Okay, hold. What time is it? What day is it? Where am I?
Oh, we've got to reboot him, I think.
22nd. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys,
I think he lost his date and time stamp thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I could tell you what I just went through, but I mean, I doubt you'd believe me. So.
What
That,
happened, buddy? What went wrong?
man, I don't know if I could even describe it. It's the details are already a bit blurry, but I don't know. I mean, there was like a blackness, and it was like I don't know. I saw it off in the distance, and like it was I say distance, but it was maybe 2 feet away because I'm in a closet, and it was like coming at me, and it at some point it just kind of floods my vision, and I think I might have like lost consciousness or something. But I mean, and then I keep like it's almost like I hear these squeaks, right, and they're like. What was it, like a rubber duck? I don't know. I mean, it was something like that. But I mean, I'm here now, so I guess things are all right. I guess we can continue with the podcast. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again.
All right. So the big secret is that Logic Mage just kind of shuts down whenever he's faced with the fact that he's not real. So just don't mention that, and we'll be all good.
Yeah, you guys can cut that out, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, of course.
Bram's a flawless editor. He wouldn't let this slip by.
Alright, our next question is from our good friend Slippy Ice Hero. How does it feel to solve puzzle clues?
Great.
Pretty darn good, I'd say. I mean, not that I would know, because I've never actually solved one, but...
Yeah, I love how the two that haven't solved the puzzle clue are the first two to speak up.
Whoa. Which
yeah,
puzzle clue did you solve again?
Clue 1.
What did you have to do?
Ooh, I figured out the basis of the entire number system, okay?
Yeah, so did I. I looked at the wiki. I solved it in a day.
Bram, he's got you there. It took you longer than that.
It did.
I've solved 2 puzzles, and it surprised me that I was right both times, because I didn't think I would actually be right. Like, I was convinced that my theory was right, but I also knew that I was me, and so that what I think is right probably isn't right, but then it was right anyway, so I thought that was pretty epic.
I still think the last clue is wrong. It was a decimal. That shouldn't work.
What happened? It was just, what was the tile just on, like...
It was like
around
halfway through.
Decimal?
Yeah, it was a decimal, like, number. Yeah, they both, ground it down, so
The uranium's just to throw you off. I'm still working on it.
Just the fact that decision contained decimals was enough to make me, like, kind of doubt that, is this, like, I don't know, like, is that really what the solution would be?
Especially with, like, the no metal detector thing. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I was super, like, suspect about it. Like, I mean, like, I wanted to do it because, like, I was, like, right there, and I was, after clue 4 or whatever, and where we just, kept throwing out ideas. I've been trying to, like, work out every idea, like, fully if I don't get it, or it was more of, like, a general, like, idea. Like, Lightning ended up sending me, like, the final chords or whatever, but I was, like, I didn't want, like, a repeat of us just not checking stuff again, so I've been trying to check everything, and I was pretty hesitant about it. Like, I thought you had a good idea, but I definitely, like, didn't think this was it exactly. But I'm really glad it was. I mean, that worked great.
I'm so glad you didn't just walk away without digging it.
I did walk away without digging it, but
I'm glad you came back, because that would just, oh my gosh.
If it thank Lightning for that, I was gone. Like, I was a good, like, 200-300 tiles away before it was like, did you use the metal detector? I'm like, no.
Lightning WB, you've saved the Travelers from another, I don't know how many month drought. Because I don't know if we would ever, like, go back if we would have walked in circles for so long.
Well, we might have gone back, but again, it would have only been until we'd actually lost track of how many solutions it had been, then we'd start going over and repeating them again.
Yeah.
And that clue is vague enough that you could, like, get any tile on the whole map.
Yeah. Thank God Lightning realizes I'm an idiot and that I wouldn't have dug there, so, glad he knows me so well.
Lightning, you're a legend.
Slippy also asks, how does it feel to be on a different puzzle clue?
Great.
Does this even count as a puzzle
Pretty good,
clue?
except what are we supposed to, like, it's, normally it wouldn't be because there's not an image or anything, but...
I would say yes, it still counts.
It's not gonna,
it does.
Anything I do in this game that is significant does not have a clue roll attached to it, so since I got it first, it's not gonna have a clue roll attached to it, so that's just how it is.
a 5.5. If it's not considered a clue, it should get a 5.5
Well,
just because it's such a difficult
it,
one.
Well,
it would
okay,
be 6.5.
Bram, be
Well,
Or 6.5.
Okay, it's very hard to figure out. I should go back to 00 twice, okay? Please. Please give me something.
Okay, but come on, Bram, you already have a clue roll.
Okay,
That's
but
more
I
than some
want
of us.
another clue.
You get the rolls
Okay,
on
Logic.
set on the weekends.
Logic just doesn't want me to get too far ahead of him in the rolls. And, you know.
There's
Well,
a
that's part of
competition
it.
brewing.
But man, I really just want a purple name. I don't like the light blue, really.
You'll get one. You got it. Just
Someday.
I think there should be a clue roll for, because this is the only like non-clue thing that we've been stuck on for more than a day. I think pretty much everything we've gotten right about instantly.
I mean, I really doubt this is going to last for any significant period of time, but it is an interesting period because we're not. This is like one of the only instances where I really think that having a good knowledge of the game lore is going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
Slippy's final question is: do you think that the radio will be used for group projects rather than only using Discord? Oh, I think he means like as in like an actual method of communication. If he means
I
that,
doubt it,
no, I'm going to
honestly.
say no.
It's just so much more efficient to use either VC or text just to talk.
Yeah, definitely
Stuff
agreed.
you say in the radio, like if you're doing something live, you're probably just gonna VC. If you're doing like planning stuff on the radio is gonna get lost, so you're just gonna do that on either the main Discord or a Discord chat or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of would like it to be more local based, because that could add more. You know, we don't really need any global communication. We kind of have that outside of the game. But having something to talk to people on screen would add a lot to those, like, you know, intense encounters where you find yourself in front of someone. But I don't see people using the radios to, like, communicate with each other, really. Unless it's just random chat every once in a while. But even then, like, it's got to be at a certain time that's then also told to people on the main Discord for them to actually use it, at least at the scale the game's at now. Maybe if there's thousands of people playing, there will be people talking on frequencies, but I don't see anyone talking as it is right now.
Yeah, that's a good summation of the situation, I think.
I think the only use for radios is for talking to people you don't know or don't have any contact with outside of the game.
Yeah, I think that's the only real practical use. Like, because other than that, it's just kind of a novelty item.
Yeah.
As much as I appreciate the fact that it was, you know, like made and coded into the game,
Yeah,
it's just not
definitely.
really. That's not really that useful fundamentally.
I feel bad for him. Everyone asked for it, and now everyone's just bashing it.
Well, okay, I need
No
to
one
clarify.
uses
Sorry,
it.
Terraga dude.
I
I
appreciate
like
it. It's a cool concept.
It's a cool feature. I would like it to have some different mechanics, but it is a very cool feature.
I think it's a cool feature. It's definitely not perfect, but I mean, I'm not gonna knock it at all. Like I think it's
Like,
fun.
yeah, the fact that it's in the game doesn't necessarily hurt it. I do think that if you're like a super purist, then maybe you'd think that like, or not really, you know, what I mean? Like maybe you'd argue that having global chat at all is kind of like sacrilege. But I mean, it doesn't really hurt that much because like the chances that anyone's actually going to be using this kind of thing actively is very small. So I don't really see a huge issue with it.
Yeah.
All right, last few questions are from Lightning, our favorite traveler. This is the only question that's actually for Coherent Nonsense, so you better have a very insightful answer for this. How did
ready
you
for
find the
your
Travelers?
speech.
I'm ready for.
Yeah.
Oh, how did I find the Travelers?
Yeah, sorry that we kind of spoke over each other there.
Well, I was. How did I find the Travelers? Honestly, I found it like last summer, so like June, July, but I'd never played it. I just like watched the devlogs on it, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
found pretty cool. I used to want to make like a similar kind of multiplayer or like MMO style roguelike. So I just kind of Googled that to see if there was anything similar, so I can like get inspired, so to speak. And I just searched that in YouTube, and I found the devlogs, which I watched.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
Hey.
but I never played it because I wasn't a fan really of the text style, and also
Yeah.
I think it was pretty barren then. It might have had like all the features it does now, but
In summer, I think it was pretty One
Maybe.
during summer.
And
Which
summer.
like
I think
you mean summer 2020, right? Just to clarify.
Last year, yeah. It's probably a little
Okay.
earlier because his last devlog didn't come out yet. It was probably
Oh,
earlier.
okay. So it probably would have been like near feature complete, but it wasn't like quite there.
Yeah. So I watched those and then I kind of forgot about it for a long while until I came back on whenever Lightning's bot was roaming around spawn. And yeah, that's when I joined, really.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I left
Something
again. and then I came back after in February, I guess.
Alright, but you're staying around this time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can like look at the game.
You're a
I can
podcast
look at
member
it, and I have like cool sprites. I can zoom around. I'm working on that.
Those sprites are amazing. Holy cow.
Yeah, Bram, you better use them next stream so I can watch it and enjoy enjoy what I see.
We'll see.
If I stream the Travelers, I will use it.
I probably will too next time.
Awesome.
Just kind of keep up that good public image. Regarding what you said about the devlogs, yeah, I always really liked the devlogs you did because they were a good mix of, well, especially the first one was more like information focused, where it's like, okay, how did I, or it's from the perspective of Tor, like how did I make this whole huge infrastructure that's this whole game's based around? That was cool to see. Even as someone who's not like super experienced with web development, it was I think it was pretty insightful. I didn't really understand a lot of what was going on, but I could tell that a lot of work went into it.
I was a
so
huge
that got me
fan of
interested
those,
from the
yeah.
get-go.
And I noticed he
Yeah.
had like streams or something. Like I saw through that like lawnmower video, which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
yeah, I guess those are like unlisted or something.
I think you can find them though. I
Yeah,
think
somewhere
you can put
deep
them
on
somewhere.
YouTube. Oh, maybe, yeah.
There's a playlist or something. I forget.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed those devlogs.
They were pretty cool, and it's interesting that we can still get new players that like are able to like just search in Google and find the game naturally without a suggestion or
Yeah, because most
a
of you
post by us or
knew
anything.
him before, I guess, from 2B2T.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched him when he was a YouTuber.
Yeah, I've never actually watched many 2B2T players, so that was a surprise.
I'm looking at the Trogadev channel just to see if I can spot anything interesting. And an unfortunate pattern I noticed with Trogadude a lot is that he really likes to private his old videos.
I know, I wanted to,
which
like,
is-
when I found out he was a 2B2T player, I wanted to, like, see what he was. And then all I see is, like,
right.
him saying, like,
Yeah.
2B2T is done or something, his channel's over.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because, well, we're not gonna get into super into like 2B and that whole history here because we already did like a whole kind of semi-formal interview with him back when season 1 ended. But yeah, I used to follow him a lot on that channel, so that was how I ended up getting connected to this channel. But even just stuff like I understand that he doesn't want to be associated with that stuff anymore because
Makes sense.
that's why I privated it. But just stuff like the Trogadev, him privating the Travelers videos, like I don't understand where that whole mentality really comes.
Wait, are the devlogs
comes
gone
from.
as well?
Well, the thing is they're unlisted.
Oh, really?
Um,
I didn't know that.
So, I mean,
he said he didn't really like the vlogs. Like he didn't really like making. Like I think I don't know if he said he didn't like how the ones he did turn out, but like he stopped doing them because he didn't really like doing them. Like I don't know what his opinion is of like the ones that were like finished, but he definitely didn't want to keep doing devlogs. So
I think it was because it was taking so much time to make the videos too.
Yeah,
what
it makes
I remember,
sense.
but it was a while ago.
Toro, if you're
I
listening,
I
remember-
remember he unlisted them though.
yeah.
Toro, if you're listening, put your devlogs on Spotify.
Yeah.
No, but
That's good.
actually, the devlogs, Coherent is here because he saw the devlogs. That could be an intro for other people just to find it on YouTube and
Yeah, other programmers
Play
who
the
can
game.
bot your game.
Yeah,
I love
definitely.
this
Like I'm
kind of
looking
stuff.
I found a playlist with just the unlisted videos. The first one has 768 views, which is actually like
Oh wow, yeah.
that's a lot of views for this game specifically. So I mean,
yeah.
I clearly like it brought a lot of people in because I know this is like my first exposure was to the game was this video. So
That
And
was the
something
first thing I watched too.
Yeah, and stuff like I think Devlog 3 specifically, where it was like it was pretty succinct. And there's a lot of good humor mixed in between like just actually showing off new features and making a few jokes here and there. And I get that it's probably it does take away like development time that could be used towards making the game, but it was always just something I appreciated. So I understand why you'd want to move away from it, but
Yeah.
it's something I appreciate. It's something it's always just something I like.
I find a lot of the stuff he does is really inspiring. Like, he works hard. He makes so much stuff
Yeah.
He really does.
creatively and just pure work ethic.
I think if nothing else,
He's
like
got
just
a
something.
fantastic work ethic.
Yeah, like something that always impressed me is just the scope of all of what he does. Like he does music, he does some graphic design that we've seen. Not really a whole lot recently, like with Puppet Master. That all that stuff's being done by
Yeah.
Eric, like on the art side. But so he does that. He does like programming, obviously. Now that he does that.
But he's
He does a lot of
like
video
making
editing.
Puppet Master like from scratch. Like,
Yeah,
he has
exactly.
no
That's crazy.
framework or game engine.
From C.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I've
is
never heard
painful.
of something like that. It's wild.
So yeah, props to you.
Yeah.
Props to you, Troggy dude. Thank you for being super amazing and making amazing things.
But yeah, I probably derailed that a little too much, but if there's
No, that
one
is
last
okay.
question from Lightning.
We have one more question from Lightning WB.
One
Are you
more.
ready? Guys, alright. After solving the last two clues quickly, how much longer do you think the puzzle will take to solve? I think we got 6 months to a year, if I'm being realistic.
Yeah, didn't Lightning say anytime in 2021?
He did say anytime in 2021 we would solve clue 4. He did say that, and then we solved it
only
like
clue 4?
3
Okay,
days.
never mind.
Yeah, no, we
solved
meant
it,
clue
like,
4.
days later.
Well, he's
Yeah,
not
we
wrong.
solved it. Yeah, we were playing on the Minecraft server, and he's just like, yeah, we'll solve it in 2021. I was just like, dude, that was like the most depressing thing you've ever said. Like, because it was like 2 weeks into 2021. I'm like, dude, that's just depressing. Like, oh god.
I like his optimism.
I mean, we solved it like right afterwards. It was great, but like,
Yeah, you're barreling through the
His
clues now.
prediction came true. We're really on a roll. It depends on how many there are, because there could be just like 10 clues.
How much of the lore
Or
do you
even
think?
9 clues to fit with the
The
base 10 system.
Oh, sorry.
You go first.
How much of the lore do you think you've gotten through already? That might give you like a hint at how far you are at.
Well, I'll tell you what I think is that we're at a point where we kind of have a we've kind of moved beyond like a rudimentary idea of what's going on. It's just like the point where we can actually have pretty solid and like backed up.
Yeah,
fan
you got through
theories.
like
So,
the epilogue of the book or something.
yeah,
Oh
that
no, the
kind of thing.
prologue. My bad.
Yeah.
Not,
No, yeah, I did, like what you said. So, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine we're. Obviously, it's pretty difficult to predict just how long the puzzle was really in reality, but
yeah.
I think there's a good chance we've gotten through like a good solid chunk of it at this point.
Yeah, I've got to sit down sometime and
think
just
we're over
read
half?
all the lore.
I don't know if we're over half. I'd say maybe like if I had to get just a wild like spitballing guess, probably like 40%.
I
That's
agree with that.
my wild guess.
I agree with that.
That sounds good.
100%.
I feel like we might be over half, but 40%, I would like it to be 40% because I want this to keep going.
It's gonna be so like bittersweet when we do solve it because it's been such a long time. Like it's gonna be a odd moment, but
I'm gonna be sad when it's done, but it's like I beat Riven recently, and I was just trying to get through it like as fast as I could, until I actually beat it, and then I was like, no, now I can't play Riven anymore because I know all the puzzles. But I'm hoping the community will still stick around and do stuff and have mods and things that are done.
You never know. There might be like a whole nother section and a whole nother chapter.
We go outside the walls. The walls
Yeah.
10 times bigger than
Yeah,
the
I'm
wall.
waiting for Traveler's Hard Mode to drop, and then we'll really have some fun.
Takes actual years to get to a clue.
Yeah.
There's monsters that come out at night.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
cool. The seasons haven't been used at all yet, which is probably going to happen, I guess.
I think they kind of have with the
Oh,
the key. You
Oh,
needed
the
to
timed
be
one.
in a certain time.
but that was like every
But
day.
The actual like Yeah, the season, like, it was just had a specific season. The particular season, it wasn't like, oh, it's this because it's this season. It was just, like, it wasn't, it would be interesting if there were mechanics, like, freezing during the winter or things like that.
I guess, yeah, this is a discussion for the Lightning wiki site.
Also, building on what you said, Super, I definitely think we are in a very, like, our time as like an underground community is I think that's very steadily coming to an end. I think as soon as Troggy drops the Kickstarter, there's gonna be a lot of marketing hype surrounding his new game, and I think that's gonna kind of be the end for the smaller kind of niche Travelers community as we know it. I think there's going to be a large influx of, not necessarily with this game, but I think just like the general fan base surrounding whatever Troggy's working on is going to be.
That's true.
A lot larger. So
there might be a little
much as we wanted to blow up, and we've talked about this before, definitely. But I do think there's going to be a point where we're going to we're going to be reminiscing about, man, I really do miss the time when it was just like, I don't know, 20 people in the Discord talking, and it was yeah.
The late night VCs without mic spamming or anything.
Yeah.
We can still have that on the egg server though, I guess.
Yeah, if it ever blows up, or I think it will at some point. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll be after the puzzle is solved or beforehand. That will be our little fallout shelter, so to speak. So it will.
And this podcast will be super famous.
Maybe.
We're gonna make billions of dollars, guys. That's gonna be great. Bram, you're gonna buy me a new car and a helicopter. It's gonna be fantastic.
Car and a helicopter. You think big, my friend.
Hey, if you want, it can be like a car helicopter, like where it's a car, but it's got a helicopter thing on top, so I can just, if I'm in traffic, I can just take off and start zooming.
I got you. Well, I'll get you up for Christmas this year, okay?
Thanks, Bram. I appreciate that.
So yeah, thank you all for coming out to this episode of the Travelers Podcast. It's great having you all here. We'll see you next time.
See y'all.
Bye.
Peace out.